Welcome in, Gemini. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. For those of you that are new, welcome in, guys. My name's Lisa. Welcome to Say It Soul Tarot. For those of you returning, welcome back, guys. Again, thank you so much for all of your likes and subscribes. However you support the channel really does make a huge difference. So thank you so much. So Gemini, this can be your mid-month reading for June. As you know, time is fluid. So if you're drawn in by the title of this reading and it's not mid-June, it's fine. Cross watchers, as always, feel free to swap sides. Same thing for you, Gemini, if it feels like I'm talking about you versus your person. But as always, guys, general reads, just keep that in mind. If you are interested in a personal read, I do have a few spots left available in June, so feel free to reach out to me. It's just sayitsoultarot@gmail.com. The email address is in the description box on my homepage and in the description of this video. So, all right, guys, so let's take a look first and see how the person on your mind, how this person's feeling about you, how you're feeling, Gemini, upcoming actions for mid to end of June, and then I'll pull some messages from your person's higher self, something you may not know. So let's dive on in here. So spirit, angels, and guides, please show me how the person on Gemini's mind, how is this person feeling about Gemini, please? How is this person feeling about Gemini? So we have the Death card coming out. Could be a Scorpio that you're dealing with. Why the Death card here, Spirit? And this person's feelings for Gemini. We have the Strength card. And the Queen of Cups. So this person that you're dealing with here, Gemini, I do feel like, they're really hoping that things are going to improve between the two of you. The Death card can really talk about, can talk about death and rebirth. It can talk about, really wanting some changes, birthing a new relationship. So, really starting from scratch. This person does, I feel like, have deep feelings for you. They're showing up here in their feelings as the Queen of Cups, but don't be, there's no gender in tarot. So again, it could be, the King of Cups. So again, take it how it resonates. This person is struggling with their feelings though. So I'm not sure. We'll dig into that to see why they're struggling. I don't know. Maybe you and this person have kind of gone around and around, especially if you've been in a relationship or a marriage for a long time with somebody. You've talked about the changes that you really want to see in your person, and then you have this big talk. You kind of come up with some sort of game plan how the two of you are going to kind of like improve your relationship or improve your marriage. But you've had this conversation before and you haven't seen the changes that you're wanting. So that's really what I'm getting off your person, that they're hoping, I feel like, for things to change. They're trying to be positive, but they're wrestling with whether or not that is going to be enough. I'm getting be enough. All right, let's see how you feel, Gemini. How does Gemini feel about this person? How does Gemini feel about this person? There it is, yeah. The Fool. Tell me more. Okay, that's too many cards. Hang on. Need to shuffle. Okay. Tell me more about the Fool here in Gemini's feelings. Why is the Fool here in Gemini's feelings? So we have the Eight of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, Four of Wands. Okay, so a lot of you are definitely married to each other here, or definitely in a long-term relationship. So this isn't, something that just started. So Gemini, again, your person and you have talked about the changes that are going to be necessary for the two of you to really have this brand new beginning. But definitely somebody is, you are kind of up in your head as well. So it's funny because, your person has doubts here whether or not things can actually change for the better. And you also have doubts. So you guys are kind of mirroring each other, actually. Like this person is struggling, dealing with their feelings about, hey, can Gemini really change? And I don't know why this person's expecting you to do all the changes here, Gemini. That's one thing that I'm noticing here. Like, what about them? What about them? I don't know. I don't know, Gemini. I don't know what the dynamics are between you and your person, but it looks to me like this person is expecting you to kind of step up and make all these changes. But at the end of the day, what are what is this person doing? Because I feel like you are up in your head here about whether or not you feel like it's worth saving. Like you are not really coming in to this with, I feel like you want to try, but I feel like at the end of the day, this Eight of Swords is, really eating you up here because it feels like, again, maybe that's what you're upset about here is that this person's expecting you to make all these changes, or you're the one kind of like making all the effort here, and your person's not really doing much. And so I feel like you might be in the energy of, I don't know if I want to save this relationship anymore, or whether or not I should just start over again. Possibly, the two of you move in separate directions and end this long-term relationship and or marriage for some of you. Yeah. You may have walked away in the past, so you and this person, again, like I mentioned, I feel like you've already had this conversation, and I feel like that's probably why there's such doubt on your person's side and on your side, Gemini, that things are going to change, I guess, for the better. All right, let's see if this person's going to take any action towards you. What actions is this person going to take towards Gemini mid to end of June, Spirit? So, King of Wands coming out. Tell me more. Okay, that is too many. Tell me more, Spirit. This person's actions towards Gemini. King of Wands, King of Cups. Ten of Cups. Three of Swords. All right, what I'm getting here, Gemini, is that whatever happened in the past between you and this person, so whatever you and this person's issues were from the past, this King of Wands keeps coming out today. I don't know what's going on, but anyhow, he's looking in the past. As you can see, he's got his head to the left here. So this person is really upset about, they're having a hard time. This person's having a hard time, Gemini, getting over something that happened in the past that really hurt your family or your dynamics or this marriage. And there's the Three of Swords. So this looks to me again like rehashing the same conversation that you've had over and over with this person. I feel like you are feeling pretty frustrated here, Gemini, with this person, because at the end of the day, obviously if there's some sort of major betrayal of trust, or somebody lied, or there was some sort of stepping out of any kind, whatever the issue might have been between you and your person, like it doesn't necessarily even need to be something that dramatic, but whatever it is, if this person that you're dealing with, Gemini, can't move past what happened in the past, how are you ever going to have a future? So it's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, it's hard, right? If you've been together for 10, 20 years, for a lot of you, maybe even longer, married to this person or in a long-term relationship with this person, there's a lot of stuff that happens, over the years, right? Especially, you have kids, family, things happen, things get said, but whatever this issue is here between you and your person here, Gemini, your person's having a hard time moving past that to get to happier days, to really have this new beginning. So I don't know. I don't know who really wants to save this relationship, whether it's you, Gemini, or your person, or you feel like you should try and do it. For some of you might have kids, so it's like, we should try and put our best foot forward here to try and save this relationship, save this marriage for the sake of our family, our friends, our kids. That's great. I love that you might be thinking along those lines, because obviously, your kids matter, your family matters. But at the end of the day here, Gemini, You matter. What does Gemini want? What is going to make Gemini happy in the long run here? I don't know. So you need to kind of answer that question for yourself. Because if you're doing it for somebody else, if you're doing it for other reasons other than you really love this person and you want to be with them, I just don't see how this is going to work, right? At the end of the day. Like if you're both doing it for the right reasons, then I feel like that's awesome. That's great. It'll work, right? You've got two people that are really invested in making it work, working out your differences. But if your person is full of doubt, you're full of doubt here, Gemini. I just don't see how, right now anyway. And again, if somebody is unable to forgive somebody because of some sort of betrayal of trust, if that can't be, if neither of you can move past that, then, I feel like the writing here is on the wall on some level here. That is just not going to work. You're just going to be continue to be frustrated with the situation with this person if they can't, forgive you or vice versa here in order to really have a fresh start is really what I'm getting. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. Hopefully that didn't come across as like being harsh. I just feel that, the best advice really that I can give you is that if this person really can't move past that, then I feel like, at least I guess you can say, Gemini, that you tried, is really what I'm getting. So let's see here. Is Gemini going to take any action towards this person? Let's see if you're going to take any actions. All right, so we have the Devil card coming out. Nine of Wands. The Magician. Five of Swords. I think that's the Nine of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. Or Four Swords, pardon me. All right, I definitely feel like this person and you, Gemini, there's going to be like a lot of, I feel like the mid to the end of June year is going to be pretty stressful. I'm not going to lie here. So I feel like, I feel like tried to appease your person here, tried to make these changes, whatever demands this person has put on you. But you're worn out here, Gemini. Like you're just worn out. I feel like you're just exhausted. This person is exhausting, they're tiring you out here. I feel like, again, this is you trying to have that new beginning, trying to kind of put your best foot forward here. And I feel like you are not getting rewarded for it at all. And again, I feel like this person keeps at you about, what happened in the past or constantly throwing that in your face. So it's kind of like, the energy of like, every time you get into a fight, with somebody, they bring up something that happened like 5 years ago, and obviously it's still bothering them. So that's the kind of the energy that I'm getting off of you, Gemini, is like, I'm so tired of having this, rehashing this conversation. I'm trying my best here to, make my person happy. I'm trying to, whatever those changes were that your person wanted, that you're trying to step up and show them that you're committed here to trying, to change or do your best here. It's being thwarted. So at the end of the day, the one thing that you were avoiding is to be on your own. So Five of Swords is somebody who's avoiding a situation. So avoiding, breaking up with each other, right? Or breaking up this long-term relationship. But I feel like, this situation is becoming a little bit untenable. Like you just are exhausted here. So I feel like you definitely need to either heal yourself on your own from this situation. For some of you, it might be a good idea to even like, I don't know if you and this person have tried to go to counseling together, like marriage counseling. I don't know, maybe you've already done that for some of you. So this looks difficult. I can't lie here, Gemini. I don't feel like this is going to be a fun time for you between the middle of June to the end of June. And I feel like, I guess really have a serious conversation with your person here. Do they really want it to work? Are they really invested in you? You know, is there still a lot of love there between the two of you? Or are you guys doing this for other reasons and not for because you really love this person and you want to be with them and you want to make things work? So I feel like those are some important questions that Spirit wants you to think about. I don't feel like you need to like rush or make a decision today or tomorrow. I just feel like those are things that, you know, are important questions to ask yourself before, making any kind of decision of any kind. And with that Two of Cups on the bottom, Two of Cups can sometimes represent two people that are just too different. So are you and this person fundamentally different? Like, are those differences like you can't meet in the middle ground? Is there no middle ground here with each other? It feels to me like you're making these changes for your person, but at the end of the day, what are you sacrificing for yourself here? And again, I know it's hard, especially when you have kids and family and in-laws and everybody's chiming in on what they think you should and shouldn't do. But they're not the ones living your life here, Gemini. It's you. You got to live that life. And is this the life that you want for yourself? Are you happy in this situation, or can you be happy with this person? Is there still a lot of love there? So again, difficult situation. So definitely sending you guys a lot of love, a lot of positive energy here. Definitely some healing energy. So let's get some messages from this person. Something you might not know. Messages to Gemini. Something Gemini may not know, Spirit. All right, we have, I hope that you can forgive me one day. I know I was a distraction from your pain. I will wait for a sign from you. I wish I could share my good news with you. I'm starting to understand our connection. I feel you leaving me behind. And I look for you everywhere. So for some of you, this ending might have already happened. I mean, each of you are on a different timeline, essentially. But this could also be, another situation, another person, somebody that you are in no contact with outside of this situation. So again, take it how it resonates here. But I definitely feel like this is something your person is struggling with, that this forgiveness down here that we saw. And I don't know, maybe you and this person are not in, the same living quarters at the moment for some of you. Or if you are, you could be, on different floors of the house and not really speaking at the moment. Yeah, because the bottom of the deck here is, I wonder if you were happy without me. So I don't know. Only you guys can answer that, but I hope this reading helped. Hopefully it made some sense here. Hopefully you have some takeaways here, Gemini. I mean, I do these readings to really help you guys, help the collective. So hopefully it did help in some way, shape, or form. And again, sending a lot of love and a lot of hugs because this looks tough. Anyway, take care of yourself and listen to your heart, follow your heart. Can't go wrong with that. And hopefully I'll see you in your July reading. Take care.